Hey, this is Mr. Jarvis with Homework Help, or what we'd say our study guide help for Monday, February 26th. And looks like we're going to start by, on the test, you need to know the standard algorithm, the so-called standard algorithm for multiplying a 3-digit number by a 4-digit number. And so we're thinking of this 448 times 25 as 5 times 448 plus 20 times 448. 5 times, well, let's move on. 5 times 8 was 40. And then we have 5 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. So we're carrying the next place value over and adding it. So I carried the 2 hundreds. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2 more is 22. And I like to erase like what I carried here. And now I'm multiplying 20 times 448. So that's going to end in a 0. I already know 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 more is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. And just add it all together. And we should get 11,200 if I did that right. Yeah. So just add the two partial products to get your answer, 11,200. Let me write this a little better. It got kind of messy. When it gets messy, I often make clerical errors. So I was worried. Sorry about the sloppy handwriting. So on this, we're thinking 1/4 of 64. A couple ways I could do it is what? So if that's true, what's 25 times 64? So one way to do it, we could think of 1/4 times 64 ones, or we could do it. The way I kind of like to do this would be 64 times 25 hundredths. And we reviewed this today in class. When you're adding and subtracting fractions, you really need to line up the place value. The decimal point is like where I start. The decimal points need to be directly on top of each other. The ones need to be working with ones. The little trick for multiplying with decimals is you don't need to worry about it. I can think of this as 64 times 25. It's a little trick that works, but it's really 24 times 25 hundredths. So you just multiply it through like you don't even have a decimal. 5 times 4 is 20. 32 here. Now I'm thinking of 20 times 64. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6, and I got to get rid of this that I carried the first time. 2 times 6 is 12. 6. And then the trick is, since you multiply decimal, you count how many digits in the factor are behind the decimal point. And there's 1, 2 here, and 0 up here. So 2 here, 0 up here. That's a total of 2. So if there's 2 behind the decimal point, there needs to be, in both factors, there needs to be 2. You move the decimal point over 2. And that gives me 16.00, which is really just 16. So if, more importantly, so if 1/4 of 64 or 25 hundredths times 64, so if I didn't is 16, what would just 25 times 64 be? Well, I did 25 times 64 right here. And I got 1600. Then I just, because of the decimal point, I moved it 2 to the left. So this decimal point is 2 to the right. So I just take the 16 and I move the decimal point, which is right there, 2 to the right. 1, 2. And it's 1600. And it's proper to put a comma here. Okay, hopefully that kind of makes sense to you. Oh, so here we're going to do some rounding to see. So 4 times 30, I can think of my partial products. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 30 is 120, 128. This divided, I'm going to move the decimal. I'm dividing by a power of 10. I just moved the decimal point over 1, so that's true. It's asking you, is it true or false? And can you not work it out to figure out if it's true or false? So I'll let you do B on your own. How about that? But C here, we have 58 times 99. So I might think of that 58 times 99. I might do 58 times 100 and get 5,800 minus so I went over under, so I went over by 58. I'm going to subtract 58. And it's not going to get me down in the 4,000s. I can tell just by looking at it. So if I borrowed, this would be 5,700. This would be 9. This would be 10. So I already tell it's going to be 5,700 something, not 4,000. So this one is false. And I'll let you do the other two on your own. You can always check them to see if you got it correct. So here, this is going to end in zeros. Anyway, I'll let you do that one on your own too. We'll move on a little more quickly. So here with the we're looking to make 21 birdhouses. One birdhouse is $3.50. So you can do your partial products. 2 is $7. 4 would be then, that would be easy. 4 would be $14. If I so if 1 is $3.50, I can jump up to 10 here. And 10 would be $35. And then half of, well, I could double that again. 20 would be 70. And I know 1's $3.50, so 20 plus $3.50. And I would get $73.50. So I didn't do all of them. I just did the ones that helped me out. So I jumped to 10, doubled that, and then added one more. Oh, this is a 20, by the way. I was thinking, what? So I did 10, which is 35, doubled it, which I got 70. My screenwriting is just terrible here. I apologize. So let me write that clear in case you need to see. 20 would be $70. And I added one more. So I got from 1 to 10, and it's easy to go from 10. I doubled it again to 20 and added just one more, which was pretty simple math. Do it in your head. So that's kind of how I like to use those ratio tables. Well, and that's all I got for you. Good luck if you have more questions. We'll have our test on Wednesday. Good luck on this.